Hi everybody, I'm here in the booth for LG Display. These guys are one of the biggest TV display manufacturers in the world, and they make panels for everybody, including LG Electronics. Of course, they're most known for their OLED display technology, so let's take a look at some of the coolest new devices they have. First up is crystal sound technology. This is LG Display's brand new way to make the OLED panel itself behave like a speaker. So you put these little transducers behind the display panel and it creates sound just like a regular speaker. The advantage is that the sound is less directional. You don't have to worry about it being from the side or aiming below. It's also a neater design thing because you don't have to make room in the cabinet for the speakers themselves. Of course, sound quality isn't going to be quite what you'd expect from a dedicated speaker inside the television, and maybe not even as good as a dedicated surround system, but at the end of the day, it does make sound come out of the TV screen, and that's pretty cool. Even cooler is the wallpaper display, seen here in a 77-inch size, which is absolutely gigantic. This is an OLED technology that was announced earlier by LG Electronics. No pricing yet on the 77-inch size, but the first I've seen it in person. So you can see it's gigantic, and the best part, incredibly thin. The panel itself is right around 3 millimeters thin. You can see from the side here. It's just crazy thin, completely against the wall. You put it up on your wall, you're going to seem like a piece of art on there instead of, an actual television mounted. Of course, the disadvantage is extremely expensive, especially in the 77-inch size. I'm guessing, $20,000 to $30,000. They also make a 65-inch size, again, no pricing yet, but that'll be closer to $10,000. Of course, OLED is also great for commercial applications, not just stuff that you see at home. One of the coolest things that they've shown is this kind of 77-inch OLED flat dual-view display. So it's shown here on a rotating pedestal. OLED's so thin that you can put two 77-inch panels back to back and align them in a portrait mode, so people are actually almost life-size when you look at it. That rotates to the side here. You can see it's extremely thin. There's also the ability to bend these OLED TVs, so you can see here on a column display, imagine like a column in an airport or something like that. This one is clad in 6 77-inch vertically aligned OLED panels. The curve is just enough to go right around the edge of the column, and of course it looks really cool. You can kind of just circle around it and see. This is one amazing looking display in person. I actually thought it was an actual photograph instead of video when I first looked at it. There's also the ability for OLED to be transparent. This display here is about 45% transparency, they tell me. You can actually see behind here there's some flowers. In the front, you just run the display over it. So again, commercial applications, that's pretty cool. Now, LG Display actually makes its bread and butter making LCD, not OLED displays. So there's plenty of LCD on display too. Here's the commercial application used for these crazy aspect ratios. You can see these screens are a lot thinner and narrower, and in some cases taller and narrower than a standard television. The idea is that they can fit in different places, for example, a menu board above a fast food restaurant, something like that. LG also has improved some of its display technologies, so they're talking about their IPS panels being better from off angle. There's also new nanotechnology that improves the color, and they say that their HDR technology is better on all these displays too. Finally, for LCD, we wouldn't be complete without an 8K television. 8K is a tremendous number of pixels, way more than the 4K TVs you've seen today, but this guy's is 65-inch size, so those pixels are incredibly small. The details are insane on this thing. Downside, of course, it's not available for sale anytime soon, and there really is no 8K content, but of course, you're always going to see the future here at LG Display. That's a quick look at all the cool new displays at the LG Display booth at CES 2017. I'm David Katzmeyer for CNET.